Hello everyone, welcome to OMG Fanboy Files. For those of you who are new, my name's Jason Michael Bray. I'm the Chief Creative Officer of Overlord Media Group, and this is my personal vlog channel. And for those of you who may have seen some of the videos in the past, you might notice this is a little bit different of a format, and there's a reason for that I'm going to get to in a second. But in case you're new here, or maybe if you didn't know previously, I'm going to give a really quick background before I go into the starting of this new format. This channel is my personal YouTube channel, and it has been around for a while and it hasn't really been utilized, but there have been subscribers to this for some reason. And when I started on YouTube, shortly after I was on MTV True Life, or around that same time, I thought it would be a good idea to try to make personal vlog videos. But I didn't really want to do the traditional, like, this is what I'm doing in my day, because I didn't really feel like I was important enough to have that kind of a video. And over the years, I've noticed that it's not really that you have to be important to start vlogs. It's just you want to be able to do it. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to start this different format on this channel. But the other reason was that in my original videos, I had more topical discussions. When I go back and look for them, I had a relationship story that I talked about relationships. I had a Doctor Who themed video. And then I also had this really cute story that I did called the Apple Mix story, where it was sort of a vlog video, but just talking about my search for Apple Mix. So it was topical, but not anything political or anything like that. Just a video that I had a little bit of fun with. And then obviously getting into retail work that I was doing at the time and other things, I really didn't have time to do an upkeep of videos on the channel. It's always something I wanted to do, but filming and editing does take time. So I had to calculate that into what I was doing, and I just didn't have the time to be able to put it all together. The other reason was, around that same time, I had started what I called Digital Overlord. Digital Overlord is the precursor to Overlord Media Group, for those of you who may not be aware of the history. And it was also just sort of a parent name that I had for being able to put together things that weren't related to a group that I had started with my friend Mitchie at the time, called Team Kondak. And it was basically a Doctor Who based improv group where we started panels and they started to grow, and we were invited to conventions as guests to have these little performative Doctor Who based panels where we would do sketch comedy, but it was also informative. Like, you'd show the history of Doctor Who for people that might have not been aware. But I never wanted to do a traditional panel of like, here's a PowerPoint presentation, look at this is what Doctor Who is. Because at the time around 2010, 2011, Doctor Who was really hitting its height of popularity. People knew what Doctor Who were all about. And I didn't really want to go into that with a panel. So we did the informative bits, but we kind of did it in an entertaining way. And it's because as a group, we were able to perform as the characters, involve the audience. It was a really fun thing. Then, as the years went on, there were different members of the group. People came and went. And eventually, as Doctor Who's popularity was more dying down and we didn't really have the opportunities to be able to go to every single convention all together just on a financial level, we ended up kind of dissolving that group. Always want to get together and probably do that again some point in the future because it was a fun thing to do. But I didn't want to completely end it. So at the tail end of that, I was starting a thing called Overlord Media Group. And it was basically the same idea as Digital Overlord, where I wanted to have an overall flag for anyone that was involved in the group, where they could do their own thing. They could go about, have, this is my program, this is my show, this is my idea that I want to do, and then do it. And sort of like the Nerdist, I thought it would be something where you can have your own creative works put together under a flag, and we can all promote it together. And then it kind of dwindled down in terms of members as people were going on to other things. I also had a circumstance where I was moving around a lot. I started in Pennsylvania, then I moved to Cleveland, then I moved to Nashville, Tennessee for a bit, and then to Alabama. So with all that moving involved, I wasn't really able to stay with the group, and I was the creative head of all this. So I didn't get a chance to really do a lot. What I thought at that point was that, okay, I really, really want to keep Overlord Media Group going, but I'm just going to kind of subtly decommission it, not completely end it, because I did want to relaunch Overlord Media Group. And my plan was to do, big 2020, relaunch Overlord Media Group. Then COVID happened. So that didn't go the way I wanted it to. I had a big idea of starting around the time of March. Lexington has this convention called Lexington Comic Con. Great convention. It has a lot of different themes involved in it. I wanted to cover it as sort of a press event, but I was going to do sketches and get other people involved in it and then do a little video afterwards. And I was going to say, hey, this is the new official launch of Overlord Media Group. That convention obviously got canceled. A lot of other things were canceled. And then because of COVID, you had to have much more isolation. So I wasn't really able to get a lot of other talent involved. I didn't partner with the people around that same time. My friend Darius from Shout Out World. And he is really, he's got a great group going. And a lot of what he is doing is the stuff that I did in 2010, 2011, where I was gaining popularity, but didn't really have the resources and tools to be able to expand. And so what I'm seeing, what he's doing and the stuff that he was doing with Shout Out World and getting that recognition around that same time, right before I was also going to Overlord Media Group was going to be relaunched, I ended up being like, you know what? I still have this extra production equipment that I've had for years. I'm probably not going to get a chance to relaunch Overlord Media Group this year. And because it's so much production equipment that I have other equipment in my studio up north at my old house in Greenville, and I have other stuff in Alabama. I don't really want to move this. Donated all that stuff to him. And it was like green screen, all the other stuff that I had for setting up, just the minor production equipment that I just didn't want to move when I moved. And because now, you see, behind me, work in progress, I am in Pennsylvania, in Greenville, Pennsylvania, in the house that I grew up in, where it's being totally renovated. Lots of things going on that I'll talk about throughout these videos as we're going to do this new video series. But there's another reason of this format change. So Overlord Media Group was one of it. Going to relaunch Overlord Media Group. So if you notice some of the evolution of the history of the videos on this channel, it started out as those just regular vlog channel videos. Then it went to a bit of like, oh, maybe we're going to do crafting things and show you how to paint figures and action figures, because I was really into that. Still am. I love customization. And then it was just more reviews, toy reviews, that kind of thing. So I was doing what I wanted to do for Overlord Media Group, but I was doing it on this channel. And I was like, you know what? I want to save that for Overlord Media Group, because I want this channel to be just more personally reflective of like a behind the scenes type thing, where if I do start doing other videos, I can do that. Also, I was heavily inspired by Bruno and Mia from MMPR Toys, and Jerry. Gotta mention them all. And you know, the whole crew over there, where he's able to do his video reviews that are focused on Power Rangers. Obviously, I'm a Power Rangers fan myself, you know, or people who have watched True Life video know this. And watching his videos throughout the years, I've been a big fan, subscribed to both MMPR Toys and his vlog channel, and he's doing such a good job. And it was one of those things where around the time that I was going to be moving, I had to condense a lot of my collection and other things, because I knew I was going to be relaunching them. Hasbro was going to do the Lightning collection, so I was like, you know what? I'm going to get rid of all my stuff. Started doing giveaways during panels that I was doing, where I was doing Super Sentai panels, giving away some of my old stuff there. And also, I had these bikes from Dino Thunder. And I didn't have the figures anymore for the Dino Thunder bikes. Not sure why. I'm pretty sure I kept those, but they just became lost in the shuffle of all the different states that I moved in. So I didn't have them anymore. But I saw a video where he had mentioned about movie bikes. Again, this is going somewhere. So Yeah, this is going to be a longer vlog video probably than a lot of the videos that I do. So get ready for this. Just stay with me on this. Promise it's going to be worthwhile of any type of reasoning. The only reason I'm doing this is because it's going to be a longer introduction. But I want to mention the bikes for a reason. And because it leads to something. So he mentioned in a video or a post somewhere that he didn't have the Dyno Thunder bikes. So I contacted him and was like, hey, I've got these Dyno Thunder bikes. I've had them for a bit. I don't know where the figures are, but I've got the bikes. You want them I want them in a good home. I'm going to be moving. I just have to get rid of a lot of my old collection. And I wasn't getting rid of it fast enough in the panels that I was doing and doing giveaways, because I was giving away lots of boxes. I was boxing up things and wrapping them up and then doing like trivia and all kind of stuff to just give them away. Eventually I just did drawings where I was like, here, have a ticket. We'll draw a ticket at the end of the panel if you stay to the end of the panel, and then we'll do that. Did giveaways that way. Still was not getting rid of my stuff fast enough because I had a lot of things that I was not collecting, and I figured, you know what, gonna get rid of those bikes and also gonna give him some other things. Surprisingly, he mentioned in his video that I managed to also, besides the bikes, give him another thing, which was a large Wild Force 12-inch Ranger with a bike that he did not have in his collection. And if you've ever seen Bruno's MMPR toys collection, it's huge. Watch his vlog channel on that to get a little bit more behind the scenes look at that. It's called Divided as One. And just watch the MMPR Toys channel. Highly recommend a subscription to that. But once I saw like, hey, he put that together, he thanked me for that and did like a quick like thank you video on his Facebook page. I was like, you know what? I've been subscribed to this channel for a while and I haven't done anything that has been like the stuff that he's doing. And I didn't want to do the stuff he's doing because they do great work over there. But I wanted to do my own thing. I wanted to relaunch Overlord Media Group, and just that little inkling of seeing that he's taken the stuff that I gave to him, he's appreciating it, and he's working with it. I was seeing these little display videos that he was watching where he was making it a part of his collection. I was like, those used to be things that I was going to display at one point, didn't have room for, and now they just look great in his collection. And so I was like, you know what? I want to restart this. And the third reason, or third or fourth, or however many, I don't know on this part of this list. Again, this is more of a ramble video. I had noticed that around 2016, after the election, and after Donald Trump was shown he's the winner, he's going to be the new president of the United States, I had a lot of friends that were worried. And so I started these vlog videos that were more like Facebook live videos where maybe only a couple people at a time would watch them. Sometimes I would get like maybe up to 20 viewers or people commenting on them. And I would just call it from the point of the election this many weeks later. Well, as I'm shooting this video right now, it is November 1st, which means the election itself for 2020 is a few days away. And I got, obviously, as you're going to see these videos coming out, I'm going to try to release them as regularly as possible, including releasing this video right after I shoot everything. Like, I'm going to edit it, put it out there, and get that up. And so because of the move, I have to vote in person. And I thought, you know what? Normally I was doing these Facebook Live sessions. I'm not going to be able to do that, obviously, before voting. You know, I don't know what the position would be like with Wi-Fi or anything with my camera. So I'm just going to do the other thing. I'm going to do something a little bit different because I never really had like a huge amount of viewers in the live sessions that I did anyway. I'm going to do that same type of concept. I'm going to start filming. I'm going to show people what's going on in my life for people that want to be caught up on things. And I'm going to do it as a vlog. And so it's going to be a start of something. Just around the same time, I realized 4 years ago I did this, but then they kind of tilted off. After a while, it was a good almost a year where I was doing these weekly. And I thought, that was fun, but I want to be able to show more. And there's a lot of things that I'm going to have to do. So I do want to show everybody really quickly in this video. They're going to go to introduction of showing what I'm working on so far. So at the end of this video, you'll see that. But this video is probably going to end up being maybe close to like 20 minutes, half hour. It looks like, just looking at the timer right now, I'm approaching 15 right now. So I really just wanted to thank everybody right now who's watching this for just being able to stay by and watch the video and get some updates of things that are going on. And people who may have been subscribing to this channel, the few subscribers that I have, thanks. And if you're still going to stay with me on this journey of being able to do these vlogs, because one of the reasons I wanted to start these now is I do still want to relaunch Overlord Media Group. That is still a plan. That is still going to happen. But in order for it to happen, there's a lot of preparation that needs to be done. And obviously with the situation with the world, I wasn't going to be able to go big. So I wanted to start small, work my way up. And these videos are a way of doing that. The vlog channel, normally you would do it the reverse way. Like, you saw Bruno, he's had MMPR toys and then he has a vlog channel, but he was filming videos before that. And he's been a huge inspiration to me to be able to do these videos and start this process. And the last time I was really in any type of highlight at all was when I was on MTV's True Life, ironically, about Power Rangers. And that, I look back at the time and I was like, that was 11 years ago. It feels like ages ago, but yet it still comes up where it's still being broadcast on MTV and different stations around the world. And so I thought, all right, now's the time. Now's the time to do this. And also in 2020, way back, I was originally, like, when I was in high school, I said, I'm going to run for president in 2020. And I think, man, if that had played out the way it was, this year I'd be running for president. And I don't know if I'd be prepared for that, because this year is pretty crazy. But obviously that's not playing. I'm just average me, toy collector, still Power Rangers fan, for those of you who are True Life that are coming into this. And so I just wanted to show everyone a quick thing. And so we're going to take a quick tour around of everything I've been working on right now really quickly. And then we'll keep everyone updated on this vlog channel. And hopefully you enjoy it. Just at what I recommend doing throughout this video, I'm not going to do this whole YouTube thing on this channel. This might be monetized, this might not. I don't know what I'm going to do with these videos exactly. But what I'm going to say is, please be as interactive as you can. Comment on the video. Like it if you actually like it, not if you like, oh, hey, this is cool, like it, or whatever, as a passing thing. But what I would really appreciate is comments. What are the kind of things that you want to see on this vlog channel? What are the things that you want to know about? Any questions that you have, just ask. Whether you're coming from watching my MTV True Life episode, whether you're somebody who's been friends with me for a while, maybe we haven't caught up in ages. I mean, obviously with the whole situation going on in the world right now, I haven't had a chance to catch up with a lot of people. So this is something new I'm doing, and I'm going to go with it and roll with it. I'm going to switch around in just a moment, but I did want to give everyone a quick tour of what's eventually going to be my studio space. It's kind of a bit cluttered right now because that is my work computer. For those don't know, I work for a company, not going to say which one, but obviously if that's right here and this is my house, I do work from home. So people that know me or are on Facebook or anything, you can find that out. I'm just not going to mention it in this video for various reasons. But my work computer, next to that is a microphone that's going to be used for like the dubbing and everything. And then this whole area next to here where I have just figures stacked up right now. All of these need to be unboxed. So that will be a thing that's going to happen. But for now, I wanted to stand here first because this is where I'm going to start by showing you around this room and then working my way through the entire upstairs for this video. Everything else you'll see later in a later video or other vlogs. So you can hear the creakiness of the floor, and I'll get to why that's so creaky in a second. But right now you can see I've been doing some updates. I'm trying to hang pictures on the wall because I have so many pictures. And what I want to do is get a sense of the space. So as we're doing different things, I can get an idea of that. And so I hung the original Iron Man poster. I've kept this since I got it at the midnight premiere of Iron Man that I went to. And this is one of the free swag things that they gave out. And so I'm thinking, this is what the start of the MCU was. And so next to it, I'm going to have my MCU display. But I'm thinking it's not just going to be MCU. I'm going to do a little bit of a combination. If you see down here, we've got cable. So obviously I'm getting some of the Marvel X-Men movies into place that aren't specifically from Marvel. Well, they are technically now because Disney bought Fox. But on top, we have the whole good guy shelf, which is eventually going to be moved up top. I'm going to actually make more of an actual display up here. What I want to do is the whole portals scene. So I want to have everybody coming in. I'm going to have it as a background where you can have people standing and fighting. I've got the Professor Hulk version of Hulk here. I'm going to probably put the regular hand on him. I'm not sure how I'm going to display him just yet, but right now I wanted to have him there because that version of the Infinity Gauntlet I've also got on the shelf. That's not going to stay there, but I needed a shelf space for it. It's eventually going to be in a new room that I'm building, and it's going to end up just being called the Arsenal Room, so it'll have all different props and things that I have from the various franchises that I collect from. And again, next to the good guy shelf, you've got... This is probably going to be the bottom shelf eventually, but again, this is my Fox shelf and miscellaneous or inactive characters. So characters that may have died, characters who are side characters, who are in different movies that I don't want to really keep packed away or in a box. So that's that shelf. And then on the bottom shelf, again, which I'm probably going to move this up a shelf, I have the whole villain shelf here, a little bit of my army building. The army building stuff probably isn't going to stay on the shelf. I just wanted to keep those there right now so that I know how many I actually have. But I'm probably as I get more villains, I'm going to put those away and just use those for photography when I'm doing reviews. And then the rest, I'm going to have various characters as they come out. You're going to see new versions of these, so you'll see likely as I'm coming up to that more of what's going on. But this is a double shelf, so next to this, you have another shelf. Up at the top, I just have some Kamen Rider SH figures, and the fruit from Helheim, and as well as this really cool Kamen Rider pin here. This rider kicks fascist, which is true. I mean, Shocker was a fascist organization, so don't get political on me here. I have my own political leanings. People who know me know what they are. And second shelf we have is just more Kamen Rider stuff. I'm slowly replacing my Figuarts Kamen Rider figures with these new Figurize model kits. This Deno is a Figurize model kit. That Geo is one, and then the X8, obviously you can see I haven't finished that, is a model kit as well. The rest are Figurize figures. I'm going to end up having them on either their own shelf or probably migrate those to another room, because what I'm finding out is quickly happening is if we go down further, here's my Power Rangers shelf. This is not all the figures that I have. I have two figures down here, and then I have mostly the Mighty Morphin, Enzio era there, and then Lost Galaxy on the end. I have more figures than just this, but again, some that I haven't unboxed. So that's probably going to very quickly fill up. I kind of want to categorize these in order of series as they go. And then again, obviously, as I mentioned earlier, with like the Infinity Gauntlet, things like these, like the props, the Dragon Dagger, the Legacy Blade Blaster from Bandai's collection, and the Morphers, they'll go in the Arsenal room that'll have all those props together, kind of like if you saw Beast Morphers, the Ranger Vault. Gonna try to put those together with all the other figures, but it's a room that doesn't exist yet because we haven't built it onto the house. Bottom shelf here, just like where you have the bottom shelf with the villains, you have villains here from Power Rangers on this shelf, and that will slowly grow as I reveal more villains here. Coming across this part of the room, got this curtain here right now because it's a window that goes to the outside, but it's wintertime. It was actually snowing outside right now. Eventually, this is going to end up being a hallway into another studio room, and that's going to be used more as like the recording studio, sit-down studio, where this will be like my collection backdrops and stuff. That studio will be more for like interviews, recording, audio, dubbing, that kind of thing. But again, it's on a story of the house that doesn't exist yet. So right now we just have that opening there that will be filled in eventually. And as you can see, ceiling's not done yet. Those little lines that are on the ceiling there, that's actually going to be for the cross bars for panels that are going to go for ceiling panels that are going to go in there, what I've already measured out and marked. And as we go have more clutter, I've got my little gaming shelf there. Right now it has some of my Kamen Rider belts on it. Let's see if I can get a closer look For those of you who might be Kamen Rider fans and want to know a little bit about some of the Rider things, these are only some of the Rider things I have. I have a whole bin of stuff that I haven't unpacked yet. This is mostly just 01 and Geo. I have my 01 stuff out because I was watching most of 01 as it was airing with my girlfriend. Same with Geo. So that's and I have the Hasbro Jason Mighty Morphin helmet because obviously my name's Jason and I'm going to cosplay him at some point because I feel that's name appropriate. So that's another stack of that along with the Blade Blaster, slowly putting the pieces together for that costume, and the Ant-Man helmet that I got on sale at one point. So I had to just display those next to the helmets. Eventually those will go in the arsenal room as well. Got all the PlayStations in order from the ones that I've had in the past. You got the Vita and the PlayStation 2 there, PlayStation 3, and some controllers. Again, it's kind of a bit disorganized since I've mostly just been sitting stuff down for right now. We're going to have a cleaning day at one point, and I'll show you that in the vlog. Got the Apple TV there, and then next to that the PlayStation 4, and then the PlayStation VR set up because of the VR headsets on the bottom. And go over to the next shelf here. You got some clutter on this table that I still haven't put together yet because things are being unboxed and put together. You see the JB Weldon modeling kit stuff that I have along with the Thor figure, because underneath that are the other Marvel figures that I have not even had a chance to sort out yet, and this Star Trek Discovery Enterprise model that I want to put together, but I haven't gotten the paint yet for it, so I have to wait to go out. And also, it's been raining almost every day as I'm shooting this video, so I haven't had a chance to paint because I need the environment to. And on this shelf, have the top shelf. I'm not sure if it's going to stay this way. Right now, I'm just using it for just storage of what I have for like DVDs and collections of things that I still have. I've gotten rid of almost all of my DVDs that I own, but I also have the PlayStation 4 games that I have for the PS4, so that might stay as like a PS4 / Blu-ray shelf when I eventually get rid of the rest of the DVDs. Down there I've got my NECA and McFarlane, or it looks like Harry Potter has actually leaned backwards and knocked some of the figures off out of place right now, so I'm gonna have to fix that. But you know, I can't really get back to right this second because this room is a mess from a project I was doing the other day, which I'll get into in a second. And then all the NECA horror stuff there. Down here you've got 3 of the 4 Ninja Turtles. The other one I actually gave away to my brother's kids because I've got a Casey and Roth set that I haven't unboxed yet, so I'm gonna have another Raphael, so I don't need a second one. I usually end up giving or selling the other figures if that happens. I don't like having duplicates unless it's for a specific reason. I got my little Keanu section here with John Wick and his character from Cyberpunk 2077, which hasn't yet to come out. Probably the way it's been delayed, gonna come out in 2077. So the Alien and Predator there, Stargate, Portal. But that is actually, I'm just using that as a reference point or something. I'm probably gonna end up mailing that to a friend of mine who's a huge Stargate fan. And got the Spengler wand there up at the top that I just recently acquired. This is my Ghostbuster section, so I've got the Diamond Select Ghostbuster figures. I have some ones I just recently unboxed but haven't finished the video, so they're kind of set to the side for the moment. And then some of the Diamond Select that I still had left. Going around here, trying not to step on anything again. This is a cluttered mess right now, but I feel like people need to get a sense of space of just how much stuff I have not yet. I've moved in July and I still haven't had a chance to sort through all of this stuff with all the other things I've had to do, because as you can see, go over to this wall in this section, this isn't done yet. The wiring is done for it. It's all taken care of and put where it needs to be. Lights are working, but this needs to have drywall and insulation in it, and that section, and then that needs the backing. If you look at the other ones, they have the drywall backing there. Ran out of drywall, so I haven't had a chance to finish that, which we're going to go out and get new drywall probably the next time I get a chance. Obviously with the tools here, you can see that I've been working on stuff that I'll go into in a moment. And some of the stuff was like, again, there's just the small pieces of drywall that I still have, along with some 4x4s. And then one of the old windows to the house, that's one of the old rope and pulley windows. You can see I've already taken the trim out around it. Eventually what I'm gonna end up doing for that is that's not gonna be a window entirely. It's probably either gonna be closed off, but I think I'm gonna have it be at least a window because the required code, or I have to have at least 2 ways of exit. And the old original door that I have here, you'll get this in a second. And there's something I actually wanted to show you. If you look down at this is the old original flooring. And then there's another sublayer underneath that. This is the original floor. They just basically stacked it because this floor wasn't level. So they decided to level it up by adding another floor to it rather than fixing the existing floor. And I wanted to show everybody that as I'm coming across because I haven't had a chance to fix it yet. This I took down, and you can see boards below boards going down to an original floor way underneath it. That original one way down there at the bottom, see that little beam down there? That's the original. They put another beam on top of that to even that out because these are posts for original housing here. That was actually extended. So this is a mess that I've had to strip down and clear out, but obviously this is my office that I'm working in right now, so I can't have it be completely destroyed to the point where I can't get around in it. But I've been trying to clean up as I go here and taking out things in sections. I was able to take out this section because as you can see I put in a new framing for what's going to be this area here. And this area is going to be the little built-in boxed studio area. There's going to have some lights at the top here that are going to shine down onto it. And it's also going to be for like if I'm doing things like wrestling figure arenas, any type of reviews that I film here. You can see the board works on there if I'm going to be doing projects, which I'm working on a few different projects right now. Essentially, I'm trying to get all the projects that I didn't get a chance to finish when I was living in Alabama done, as well as a few new projects. So here I have just in the puttying phase of a few different projects. I'm in the midst of being able to put together all my Star Trek things in one spot. My dad has a lot of Star Trek stuff as well, so I want to be able to make a particular collection. This is a really old model that I used to have. It was completely destroyed by the time I got here, so I've been puttying it up and trying to fix it, and the cracks and everything and all the grooves, and then gonna, as you can see, started painting it gold as a primer and as a paint, because I'm going to make a replica of the Enterprise display from First Contact. So because of that, I have the Enterprise B here. You have the original Enterprise, and then the Enterprise D with all the cracks. Probably just have to have some sanding work done on there. Engines on this have been being a little bit futzy as they've been hanging down. They haven't been trying to stay in place, so I'm going to have a fix for those. Any of you that are models out there might have a suggestion for that. I've been trying a few different things, haven't had any solutions just yet. But this whole area, again, underneath this is going to be storage areas for like production equipment. Because if you look in the back here, there is actually a plug there. So I'm going to be able to plug things like stereo equipment, and then there's a second plug in the secondary section here that goes back beside that. So this whole area, since I was able to just build this framing and put that into place, is going to be for when this all goes across. It goes all the way up to the ceiling. And so I'm going to be able to paint the backdrop of this, probably put the Overlord Media Group logo right there. So this will be something that I can stand in front of and shoot videos by just basically aiming it at the door. Lots of old posters and prints that I've slowly been going through and throwing away, artwork and everything, some of which needs to be reframed because it's been damaged through various moves. That tends to happen. This is what happens when you're trying to just take out everything. We recently sorted out a lot of the back porch area by throwing a lot of things away. So we've done that. And then we get into this area here where we've got all the things I have not yet unboxed. So at some point you're going to see these videos called Overdue Unbox and Review. It's something I'm doing for Overlord Media Group, which I've been doing a lot of videos for lately. These are all the things I haven't yet filmed videos, unboxing videos for. I've got these three Bray Wyatt figures I'm going to do together. Obviously do a New Day together. The entire first run of the AEW All Elite Wrestling figures, as well as behind that, you can see a little bit of the bubbly Chris Jericho. So I've got all the figures except for Brandy right now that were released in the first run. Here I also have like a NECA section of things that I haven't had a chance to unbox yet. I got Sarah Connor there, got a Evil Dead Ash, looks like it's some Star Wars figures there that I haven't had a chance to unbox. Also, this is my Marvel Legends section too, that I have some figures here. I got the Hugh Jackman Marvel Legends, NECA Predator there, and indeed when you're staying with Legends, I also have, because I had a Kilo over there, got the Domino, and then these are the Power Rangers section of ones I haven't unboxed. Like I mentioned, lots of things that I haven't unboxed there yet. You also get to see the NECA Back to the Future figures here. That's where that science fiction comes from. And then some other WWE and things figures at the bottom. All this is just full of figures. So this is this room right now. Sort of a mess right this second because we're working on various projects. Let's go into another room. This area is what's going to be the bathroom. So it's nearly done. This floor we decided to stick tile floor we're not going to go with. We're actually going to do something a little bit different. But it's at the point now where we're almost going to be to where all the wiring is done, plumbing is done almost, except for the part where the shower is going to be. That's where the framing for the shower is, and the bottom is already in, so the bottom plumbing is already taken care of. I just have to finish the water lines going up to the shower there. This is where one of the older windows used to be that we're ended up boxing in from the other side because it's going to be another, that's where the second story is going to be, so it doesn't matter if we're boxing in this window, because what we're going to do is when we get to the other side, we're going to take out the window from the outside and then box it all in completely. So you have a wall in front of a wall, which will be very, very thick walls to the house, so you'll have lots of insulation. As I mentioned earlier, sorting out the back porch, these are 3 bins of things that were in the back porch that right now, this area right here where you can see this framing, it's going to be a closet area. So you'll have that done in this place. And when I film another video, once I clean up again, the next time I'm off is going to be a cleanup day. So you'll get to see in another vlog video coming up a better sense of the space as I give people more of a tour. And in this case, all these old paneled walls, I'm not even going to bother taking these off because it's just, as we were tearing things up, we realized it ended up being more clutter than anything else. So I'm just building the new walls over top of the old walls. It does shrink the size of the room a bit, but in the end, it ends up being worth it. I'm going to put in new ceiling and everything. As you can see, there's some mess here in the ceiling. We're going to put in a new roof, so I'm not too worried about this weird cardboard stuff that they have in spots that are probably where holes are. But I'm going to fix that from the top rather than fix it from the bottom, so it'll make it a little bit easier to be able to do there. And then as we come around here, still original older paneling, but where I've added here, going to have an archway. So you have that area here, this extra area here is even with where the doorway is going to be, and you can see some of the original like wall there, that old style, like just wooden with like the plaster on top of it wall, and then the framing for the new door that's going to go in for the 32-inch door. Again, you can see I've been working in here a lot because tools are just laying down here on the ground. Another room that I've been working is a front room, this front bedroom. God, most of my other stuff, again, as I mentioned, the Star Trek stuff, this is where we've mainly been just storing things that I haven't had a chance to have a space for yet, including what I just picked up, which was the Baby Yoda. Got that Star Trek ship. I'm going to have to do some painting on that one as well. At least the Enterprise without the top saucer section, so it's just going to be the battle bridge. I don't know, that's my original one that I built, and I don't know where the saucer section of it is, so we're going to see what happens from there. NXT version, full-scale ring, AEW full-scale ring, those are going to go underneath that big display area I showed earlier. Other areas, these shelves are temporary. As you can see behind that, next to where those gaps are, there's going to be built-in shelving units in that back part of the shelf, so including a built-in dresser, so there'll be a lot of stuff there. Just have a TV there temporarily for when I'm working in this room. I can have sound playing and I can do different things. A lot of this is just being sorted out, but we do have the closet I managed to clear out the other day, so I was able to put most of my actual stuff in here. Got my costumes like Gokaiger here. Got some of the other stuff. Got my Green Arrow that I just wore the other day. And a lot of my 12th Doctor stuff is there that I'm trying to organize and put into place. And then that is a look at this room from the other side. Lots of stuff to sort out. Hopefully I get to it soon. So in the end, that was a quick tour of just everything that's going on upstairs. I didn't show the downstairs in this video because, again, this video is long at this point, and also we've done most of the downstairs except for the kitchen. We redid the bath. There's a downstairs bathroom out there and made it handicap capable for my grandma. and the dining room we replaced the flooring on. We still have to do some walls and stuff down there. The living room hasn't really been redone. What it really comes down to it is this house was originally built in the 40s and hasn't really been changed at all since, pretty much since it was built. I grew up in this home. This home is eventually a house that I will probably inherit down the line. So that hence why you can get like the built-in shelving and the more permanence of the housing. But I think of this as 93 Canal Street refit. It's a complete refit, top to bottom, replacing everything that we can possibly replace. And then from that point, you're being able to add new rooms, get more property. There's a lot of property that's around this area where I can buy additional space, build additional garages, any type of storage areas. But right now it's in a kind of a small house. Just to give you an idea, that closet that I showed you just a moment ago when we were in the front room, that's the only closet in the house currently. Obviously that little one I framed in the bathroom is going to be a closet. There's going to be other storage areas like underneath that desk. So there's going to be a lot of places to put things. But the hard part when you're in a renovation is that you don't have places to store stuff up until that point. And the reason I was originally not going to film this, I was going to just do like a quick intro and just be like, hey, join me on my journey, but then maybe down the line once I'm fixing up. But as I mentioned, MMPR Toys and Bruno have inspired me. Their vlog channel, they were showing where he was doing a lot of organization and just all the stuff that he had decluttered that he's been trying to work on. And they've been in that house for a while. And it's a lot when I moved here in late July. When I finally actually moved in. And so you figure August, September, October, in 3 months, we've got a pretty good amount of progress done, considering that I've also had to renovate the house at the same time. So all these walls that you've seen behind here, brand new walls that are put on. Obviously a lot of stuff isn't finished yet, but that's why I wanted to give everyone a sense of this is what's happening. And every time I get a chance, because I don't know how the election's going to go. I don't know what's going to happen next. And so because of that, I figured, you know what, for preservation's sake, for something I can look at down the line, I'm going to show everybody what's going on. And I'm going to be able to see how this house is before and after as we completely change it. And so hopefully you'll join me on this journey as we're going through. If you do have any comments, anything you like, you want to talk about, a Q&A, anything, starting on the next video, I'm going to answer everybody's questions that you can, whether it be on, I'll post this video on Facebook, obviously on this channel as well. So feel free to comment. Just let me know what you feel like would be good ideas or anything. I'm always open to suggestions. And until next time, which will probably end up being after, well, yeah, election day. So we'll see how that goes. Until then, see you later.